Today is all about getting some things ready for the upcoming week to make my week a little easier. I've mixed up my regular sourdough bread. We eat this on the daily around here, so I like to keep a loaf available. So I'm going to go ahead and get that made up for the week, and that's what I'm doing here, just getting it out, rolled into loaves, and getting it in the pans to rise. Now that the bread is in the oven, we'll do a few more things around the kitchen. I'm going to clean this mess up first. Here I'm just pulling out some plates from the freezer that my husband takes to work. We'll see if they have vegetables and a meat on them. We'll come back to those. And then I just clean my refrigerator out. I have some cabbage I need to use up. I'm going to make some slaw out of that. I have some things like some beef stroganoff that I fixed over the weekend. I'll make my husband a plate for work this week out of that. And I have to have his breakfast plates made for the week as well. So here I'm just getting all those things together. I did have a roast that I cut up into small pieces and I soaked it in a marinade, and I'm just putting that in my Instapot. So that'll be cooked and ready for the week, and I'll just take it out and use it in different dishes. You could put it in rice, make like a beef and rice. You could do stir fry, you could do tacos, so many things. If I just have the meat ready, it'll really help me out on a night when maybe I didn't remember to take something out the freezer for supper. And now I'm just peeling a carrot to put in my slaw. I'm just chopping the cabbage up and the carrot for the slaw, and I'll just put some homemade mayonnaise, homemade pickle relish with the pickle juice, and salt and pepper, and a little squirt of mustard. And I'm just figuring out that I don't have any mayonnaise made, so I'm getting the stuff out for that. I just put some oil in my mayonnaise. Avocado oil is what I use. 2 eggs, salt, pepper, a squirt of mustard, a little splash of lemon juice, and I use some fermented honey that comes out of my fermented honey and garlic. And then I mix it with a stick blender. This is the leftovers I was talking about, adding to a lunch plate for my husband to take to work this week. And what I don't put in his plate, I'll put in a container to stick in the refrigerator for me to eat for lunch. I like to stop and do the dishes so I don't have a mountain of dishes whenever I'm finished. I actually need some vegetables to add to some of my husband's lunch plates, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to fry up some corn with some onions and make some sugar peas. And what's left over after I fill his plates, we will eat with supper this week. And I'm just drying some dishes, putting some dishes up while I wait on the onions for the corn. Make the fried corn, I just put a little homemade ghee in the bottom of the cast iron, cooked my onions down in that, and then added 3 bags of frozen corn. And it is definitely a favorite around here. My younger son came up and ate supper with us, and he finished it off. Here is a pack of deer sausage that I took out to cook for our breakfast today and for my husband's breakfast throughout the week. I'm getting my loaded egg cooked for well, it might not last me a week, but it'll be several servings that I don't have to worry about cooking this week. So I'm just getting started on that. This is some freeze-dried mushrooms, and I've got my onions going. Here I'm just adding hemp seed, flax seed, and chia seed to a little coffee grinder, and I grind those up in there and then add them to my egg mixture. Basically, I cook my onions on the griddle. Then I add the mushrooms to the onion mixture, let that cook a little, and then I'll put the spinach on the griddle and let that cook down. And in the egg mixture, I have usually for one serving 2 eggs, but today I think I did 4 servings, so I think there was 8 eggs. And then I'll add my chia seed, flax seed, hemp seed to that, along with some cottage cheese, salt, and pepper. I'll take my vegetables off the griddle, put it in the egg mixture, and then pour that all onto the griddle once it's mixed up. And while I wait on the loaded egg to finish up cooking, I'm just gonna top off a couple of my husband's plates for the week, adding the vegetables and some cooked quinoa with black beans. Now that the loaded eggs are done, I'll take them off, put them on a cooling rack, and start breakfast for this morning. I'm cooking all the eggs for this morning's breakfast as well as my husband's breakfast plates for the week. I do have the pack of thawed deer sausage out, but I discovered that I had a bag of cooked sausage patties in the freezer that I had frozen the previous week. So I'm going to use those on the breakfast plates, and I think I'll probably have to cook maybe 1 patty for him, and then I'll just stick the unused sausage in the refrigerator and use it this week. After breakfast, I came back, finished up my husband's breakfast plates, stuck those in the freezer. The bread is ready to bake, so we're turning that on, and we'll come back and check on it in just a bit, do a few things while that's baking. And of course, there's more dishes, but we'll wash those up while we're waiting on the bread. And I just like to transfer the leftover things to smaller pots that'll fit in my refrigerator easier. Our beef has cooked up nicely. It cooked up really tender in the Instapot. I'm just going to put it in a pot that I can easily fit in my refrigerator and take out and heat up whenever we need it. And of course, more dishes. Here's that one last piece of sausage that I had to cook up for my husband's breakfast plates. I'll add this to that plate and also a piece of the bread that we're baking today to each plate. I'm just doing the final little cleanup here and while I wait on the bread to finish baking and washing up some eggs while I wait. The last thing on my list today is finished. I'm pulling the bread out of the oven, getting it out the pan, and I'm done in the kitchen for today. And that's a wrap for now.